49er fans, you just got the news you were waiting for. And quite frankly, that I was waiting for. This is awesome. Brock Purdy is healthy. He is ready to go. And in this video, we're going to talk about really two things. What this means for the 49ers. And yes, I do know I just put out a video on how I think Sam Darnold could be a guy this year. And I do think he could be. I think he'll end up being Brock Purdy's backup. Brock Purdy's backup. Did I say that right? Anyways, Brock Purdy is back. We're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about why this is huge for the 49ers. We're going to talk about Shanahan's love for Purdy and when he knew that Brock Purdy was going to be his quarterback going forward. And this is kind of a cool story. So first, let's talk about why this is a big deal for Brock Purdy. Well, for starters, you have a guy who you know can win, because that's all he did last year. That's all he did. He got his first start in week 13, and he ended up just doing a great job. He won the next, 6 games in a row, got a playoff victory, and if not for hurting himself in the injury that we all wondered how healthy he'd be by the start of training camp, if not for him hurting himself, then he would have been even who knows what could have happened there. That would be really exciting. So I have a couple of takes on this. First off, Brock Purdy, you know me, I'm a PFF guy. I like the PFF numbers. I can't present it, but I do have another article that I want to show you some stuff on. But Brock Purdy is sitting here with a 76.6 offensive rating and a 74.2 rating when it comes to just straight passing. He really does do a good job. He was efficient. He had a 67% completion percentage, which is absolutely fantastic, especially for a rookie. And I just want to stop everyone because here's the deal. I listen to a lot of fantasy football podcasts and things like that. And a lot of people are like, I don't know if I believe in Brock Purdy. I think he did a good job playing against bad defenses. Let me just stop you right there and say that's a bunch of malarkey. That's a bunch of garbage. Okay, so let's look at the teams he played. He played the Dolphins, the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Redskins, the Raiders, the Cardinals. Okay. Worst defense by far out of that crew is the Arizona Cardinals. He only threw for 178 yards in that game. He only threw the ball 20 times. That's it. Like his best games came against the Raiders. I said Redskins earlier, didn't I? Am I going to get fined for that? Is that how that works? I don't really know. The Commanders, with that name going to be changed soon, he threw for 234 against the Raiders. He threw for 284. Okay. And he was consistently good against all these teams. He got better as he got more starts. It didn't have to do anything to do with the defense he was playing. And I'm sorry, if you are a bad quarterback, even if you go against a bad defense, you still don't look that good. He looked good. It was the ways in which he made plays. He made the right throw. He didn't try to overthrow anybody. He didn't try and make the big play. He just ran the play that was called. And when he needed to improvise, he would improvise, but he wouldn't over improvise. He wouldn't play hero ball. And I think that's what makes him so good, is that he has the ability to not over improvise and just be a good player. Just be a good player. So I want to share this article with you. And I found this, and I always like to do, SB Nation does some good stuff, but Niners Nation, they do a good job. It feels more homegrown, so I like to shout it out. And this is what Shanahan said. He said, we noticed it with every rep he got. This was all the way back to OTAs last summer. He said, we noticed it with every rep that he got. It was 2 reps for the first couple of practices. What you noticed was he didn't mess around. Okay. He didn't mess around. He was so decisive on what he did. He didn't try to overly impress us with the first rep. Like, hey, I'm going to make a big play. He just wanted to play whatever. Whatever play was called, whatever the 2 reps were, he did that. He was like a machine. And by the end of the OTAs, he was like, man, this young guy is a machine. So he knew right away. Shanahan knew right away. And this is a guy who does such a good job with quarterbacks. But then he talked about when the players knew it was him. He said they never wavered on Brock, but it was week 15 on the road against Seattle when Shanahan knew. And this is what he said. And this is such a cool story. So I'm going to read this directly from a quote from the article. It says, at that time, especially with Trey being out and with Jimmy being up in the air when he could come back, that's when I knew he was a dude because of how good he played the 2 weeks prior. I think he had broken ribs that Thursday. I remember when he took his shot during pregame warm-ups, he couldn't throw because it was still hurting in that area. And I'm sitting there going through the openers, not knowing if he could throw or not. So he's waiting for that to kick in. And I'm thinking, should I just go with Josh Johnson or not? Who had been with us for 2 days. And then Brock is like, I think I can do it. Then watching him in that game, knowing how hurt he was and watching him manage the game and some of the plays he made to move the chains on 3rd and 1, scrambling, I knew we had a dude who was made up the right way, who could handle the pressure and stuff. We'd seen what he does as a player during practice, but it was more of the makeup. It was proven. So there it is. The team believes in Brock Purdy. And now you're wondering, like, okay, so you bring in Sam Darnold. You have Trey Lance, who you spent, 3 first-round picks to acquire. I think it was for the number 3 overall pick. But yet you have this guy who is taken in the 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant, number 263 overall, the final pick, if I'm not mistaken, in the 2022 draft. And his rookie year, he goes out and lights it up. But by lighting it up, I mean, he just does everything the right way. He plays within the system. And I think what was so nice about Brock Purdy is he made the throws he had to make. But this is the other side of it. He improvised better than Garoppolo. So he'd still make the plays. No, maybe he doesn't have the same arm talent that Garoppolo has, but he has enough arm talent. And when he was forced to improvise, he improvised well. He just made the plays. He came out and he played like a 5-year vet. It was amazing to watch. And I remember I watched every one of those games because, like I said, yes, Lion, you see it back there. We're Detroit Lions fans on this channel, but we love the NFL. And I watched all these San Francisco games. And what you know for a fact about Brock Purdy is when I'm watching him, he's 2 games in, he's 3 games in, he's 4 games in. And by the time even they're going to the playoffs, I have no doubt. I'm just like, yeah, they got he's a rock. He's a solid player at quarterback. And that's exactly what he was. And he's not going to get worse. He's not going to get worse. It's only going to get better. So if he's healthy and he's able to play and he's able to get the reps in that he needs to get in, you guys are set at quarterback. And you should be happy about that. And I think Sam Darnold is going to be a fantastic backup quarterback. And if he's not, Trey Lance would be a great backup quarterback. And if Trey Lance is still on the team, there's got to be times where you put him in to run special things. I think you guys got something here, and I think you know it. And it's exciting. And you got it in the 7th round. What's up? This is really cool. So hope you enjoy the channel. If you like 49ers content, keep looking for more. We're going to keep putting it up here because, quite frankly, we love the Niners. So we'll see you on the next one. And thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe. Leave a comment.